Welcome to this month's collaboration video. This month we are talking about the top 5 money saving tips for caravanning or motorhoming.
This video is part of a collaboration, so we'll encourage you to look at the other videos in the playlist from the other collaborators which form part of this collaboration series. And the easiest way to do that is to wait until the very end of this video. We'll put a card on the screen that you can click, and then you'll be able to watch the rest of the playlist.
Caravanning and motorhoming has become very popular in 2020. We all know why. I'm not going to mention that word. So to start off with, if you don't have a caravan or a motorhome, then you need to make sure that you do plenty of research to make sure that you get the right outfit for you. If you're a couple, if you're a family, whether you have pets, you need to take all these into consideration along with how many times a year you think you'd like to go away before going and purchasing your ideal caravan.
Part of the equation with caravanning is of course a towing vehicle, and as we're suggesting that this is a hobby or a kind of holiday that you can do on a budget, we'd recommend getting a towing vehicle that's capable of acting as a caravan towing vehicle as well as your normal family runabout vehicle. In our case there's just the two of us and 2 dogs, so we're quite fine with a van with 1 row of seats, and the rest of the space in the back of that van is for all of our luggage, payload, kitchen sink, etc. Different vehicles will apply for different people, but it's worthwhile, spending a little bit of money and making sure you've got a capable and multi-purpose vehicle.
Also, make sure you view as many vans as possible. Go in, have a look, sit down, see if you can imagine yourself staying in there on a wet and rainy day, not just those lovely sunny days. Have a lie on the bed, have a sit on the toilet. Just try and imagine yourself spending time in this van. Once you have purchased your dream caravan or your ideal caravan,
what you need to do is get hold of a map and take a pencil and a compass and draw a 50-mile circle around where you live. Now, within that 50-mile radius, you're probably going to find that there's a lot of interesting places to visit, possibly even some that you've never even heard of. Now, we're saying 50 miles because of a reason. It's far more economical to travel less when caravanning. The further you travel, the more it's going to cost.
Yeah. Talking of fuel, make sure that you fuel up your towing vehicle in your local village, town before you set off. And again, if you need to fill up before you come home, do it in the local town or village. This will save you money. Everybody knows that motorway petrol stations charge above and beyond on their fuel prices.
Yes.
Plan your meals. Sit down and work out what you're going to have for breakfast, what you're going to have for lunch, and what you're going to have for tea for each of the days that you're going to be away. Also, what we find is we pre-prepare things like spaghetti bologneses or curries, chili con carne, things like that. So you can prepare it, freeze it, and put it in your freezer, so that you've just got to cook up your pasta. By planning your meals, it will encourage you to spend less in the shops by just buying and going in and having a look around and then buying things that you really don't need.
We're not saying don't go eat out at all, but perhaps if you do it once or twice instead of all the time, you're going to save yourself a fat wad of cash.
Definitely. What you're going to do while you're there. Most places have museums, castles, attractions. These can work out very expensive. We suggest that you try going to the beach. Everybody likes the beach, gives you some exercise, some fresh air, usually some nice scenes to see. But whilst you're there, you can do something called beachcombing, and you can just have a look around and look for pretty shells, pretty stones. We do mudlarking and beachcombing as a hobby, so we know to look out for particular bits of glass and clay pipe. But even for those of you that just want to have a wander along the beach, the kids will love looking for pretty shells, stones, or if you ask them to look out for a specific thing, it just makes it fun. And actually, a lot of adults like doing it as well. So exercise, fresh air, and something fun to do as well. Keep them occupied for a good hour or 2.
And the last item on this month's list is consider joining and we're going to use the example of English Heritage. Now, while the initial layout may look like it's expensive at about £100 a year, you can actually pay this off on a monthly payment. So what does that work out to be? About £8, £9,
yeah,
£9 a month, and you get your money back for that pretty quickly.
So, for example, on a recent trip to Cornwall, we wanted to visit Tintagel Castle. Having looked online at the entry fee for 2 adults, we then decided that purchasing English Heritage membership would actually pay for itself after a couple of trips to events like this. Also, one of the other benefits of having English Heritage membership is you can use their car parks for free as well. We do find that when we're away in the caravan and doing day trips, we do end up spending quite a bit of money on car parking.
It's one thing that you can take into account when you're considering
the pros and cons.
The pros and cons of putting down £100 a year onto an English Heritage membership.
Other organisations are available, such as
the National
Trust. They're all very much of a similar. Again, have a look and see what your interests are and work out which one you would be most likely to use the most of.
We would have used our English Heritage a lot more if it wasn't for the virus, that's for sure. I mean, there are places close by us where it's an easy day trip, and we'd love to have gone to some of these places, but closed down because of COVID.
Yeah, just because you have English Heritage membership doesn't mean that you can only use it obviously when you're on caravanning trips. You can use it at weekends when you're at home and you want to go and visit something a bit more local, without being away for the weekend. So it's kind of pretty diverse being a member of English Heritage. Gives you lots of options.
Yeah, remember the 50-mile circle. You'd be surprised what's on your local doorstep.
Yeah. Just because you live in an area, you think you know everything there, and that's the thing. You tend not to go and visit stuff. But if you were to draw that 50-mile radius circle around your home, you'll actually find there's quite a few places that you
easy day trips, and also places you can go away in your newly acquired caravan.
Yeah, I mean, we live in Somerset. We went and stayed in Yeovil at a buffalo farm. And visited places from there because we don't go over to that side of Somerset. So we hope we've given you some ideas on how to get yourself a reasonably priced caravan and how to go away, again, reasonably cheaply. Our ethos is the cheaper your trip is, the more trips you can afford to take away.
Thank you for watching our video this month, and we'd like to encourage you once more to watch all the other videos in this month's playlist. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye!